Mel Robbins, in her book, The High Five Habit, talks about this very powerful technique that helped her to pick herself up when she was in a really low place. And I think this can be also very helpful, whether you want to heal a heartbreak or you getting over a married man who dumped you. She's sharing a story when she was at a really low place during the pandemic, and she reached the point where she struggled to get out of bed. And then one morning she just got out of bed, she looked in the mirror, and she simply high-fived herself in the mirror. And this was a very simple and you would think like a bit of a cheesy thing to do. However, she continued that doing for a number of days, and then she shared that technique on social media, and then this became like a chain of people high-fiving themselves first thing in the morning. If you ever high-fived anyone, you know how good it feels. You're cheering someone up and you supporting them. And I can imagine, who knows, maybe I'm going through a heartbreak myself at the moment. Subscribe to this channel so you can find out later in the future. But one thing that I know, that when you're going through a heartbreak, the last thing you feel like doing is celebrating yourself. And if you are watching this and maybe you got dumped by a married man, that makes you feel even worse. You start questioning yourself, not just your decisions when it comes to relationships, but you start questioning everything about yourself, your self-worth. It has a toll on your confidence, even probably how you show up in your work-related relationships, your friendships, and everything else, because it may feel like you are so defeated, and there is this person, that you invested so much, and maybe you lived in this situation, where you were dreaming about what may happen in the future, and now this bubble is burst suddenly out of nowhere because you are not with that person anymore. So you may be experiencing things like struggling to get out of bed and not having showers and not eating, or maybe overeating, over shopping, and the list goes on. Tell me in the comments, what is one of your things that you may be doing that you think I'm doing this thing to deal with this heartbreak, but I don't think that this is helping me that much. Tell me in the comments. Is there science behind high-fiving yourself? I like science. It boosts your mood, it boosts your confidence and your energy. Your brain gets a drip of dopamine with every high five. So I know this may sound like, oh, the high-fiving myself, you may be too sophisticated for this, or whatever you want to call it. I have to say, when I heard Mel Robbins talk about this, when she was promoting her book, and I heard about this the first time, I was like, all right. But then I was going a few weeks through a bit of a low period in my personal life. And I have to say, a few mornings, I did high-five myself, and I did feel much better. So I'd like, to give yourself a little challenge, or not a challenge. I think a challenge is a bit of a big, ambitious word, considering what you are going through at the moment. But I would like to invite you to high-five yourself for the next 7 days and watch yourself and see how you feel. Give me 5 in the comments if you're actually going to try this. The next video for you to watch is here, how to get over him fast. For more videos like that, make sure that you subscribe, hit notifications, and always remember that you are worthy of love. See ya!